Make sure everything is set up. Recording. Let me move this over here one sec. All right, everyone. Let me adjust my screen here one second. Always some little tweaks, isn't it? Well, what's that?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no. I was just going to say, welcome, everyone! Woo! Welcome to the weekly mastermind call this week. And today, Joe and I put something really cool together. And I wish I'd have sent out a Scipio message about it as a reminder, but no biggie. And I think you guys are going to really, really like this one because it's nothing that there's some stuff that we have, Christmas, of course, I saw her LOL thing. But it's nothing that, it's nothing that we have really went over before and really talked about, but it's a really, really cool subject. And I think that this subject tonight is going to be something that a lot of people are going to go, man, you know what? That was a really, really good message. That was, it's one of those things that like everyone needs to hear. And so today I want to talk about some things that I'm really, really big on, and not just me, but a lot of people are. And that is that, the vibration. So if anyone has ever heard of like vibration, okay, our vibration, or you hear people talk about it or whatever. And the really cool thing about this is that, a lot of people, as people, all of us, sometimes we run into kind of roadblocks, where we don't feel upbeat, or we don't feel like we're getting the most out of our days, or we don't feel like we feel like we just have this resistance. Like the things that we're doing, we're just not getting the results that we really, really want to get. And today I'm going to share with you guys one of the biggest secrets. If you're not getting the results that you really want to get, today I'm going to share with you exactly why this is happening. Not maybe, not possibly, but you're going to hear exactly why. Now, it may be something that really hits you in the heart, really hits you between the eyes, but it's going to hit you, and I think that you're really, really going to love this one today. So anyways, want to jump right into this. So today we're going to go over the topic of, I'm looking over here off my other screen, is we are what we think about, feel, and give energy to. So this is called, you guys, I don't know if you've ever heard of what's called, I want to see if there's some video people on here, a lot of audio. This is called a vortex, you guys. So the vortex, I want to talk about why raising our vibration is so, so, so important. And not only why it's so important, but how it affects you and me in our everyday life, and what happens and the outcomes that we have throughout the day, the interactions that we have with relationships. And so our vibration, as you guys know, we're made of, a soul, of course, and blood and fingers and all that, but we're really energy, right? And so the vibration is combined of a few different things. And so what I've come to realize, you guys, in my personal life, as well as some other people, other entrepreneurs, business owners, speakers, people like Will Smith. If you heard of Will Smith, of course, right? The Fresh Prince, and an amazing actor, amazing guy. And a lot of people that have just are out there that are living this way and having a lot of success. And you ask them, God, why does everything seem to like flow to them, right? Why does everything seem to happen so easily? And it really doesn't happen easily. But I'm going to share with you guys some secrets and like life hacks on how, if you're not getting the results that you want, if you're not having the things happen in your life on a daily basis that you want, today you're going to realize why that's happening and what you can do about it to fix it. So I want to read something here real quick. And hey, Joe, do you want to go ahead and read that part below that, that first, why raising our energy vibration is so important?
Sure. As we enter this new age of involvement, your energy vibration becomes more important than ever. In the near future, there will be a division of people into two groups, those who are service to self and those who are service to others. Wow, that's a powerful statement right there. There will also be a division of those who are positive energy vibration and those who are not. Now more than ever, one should avoid watching television, as it is one of the biggest mind-controlling negative energy propaganda machines on this planet. Amen. Absolutely is.
Hey,
especially if you're watching NBC, ABC, CNN.
Oh man, you know what? What's funny is this. The other day when Irma was hitting Florida, it was on really Sunday. So I was watching this. Normally I go for my swim right in the morning. I do my meditation and I didn't. Woke up. I started watching this Irma, right? The big hurricane in Florida and down in the Keys and all that, in the Caribbean. And I was watching this, like the live broadcast, and about, off and on. Then about like 1 or 2 o'clock, I noticed I just felt like shit. I felt like I didn't even know why. Like I just felt just really like weird. And I didn't really realize till a little later that afternoon, I go, God, I didn't like set my vibration. I did some things that basically formatted my vibration, caused me to feel like shit, and then it was just weird. I felt like just funky, and I normally don't feel that way. And I started realizing, well, God, I didn't like tune myself. I was letting all this negative stuff come into my mind, and that was actually creating my vibration. So when I say vibration, you guys, this is what I'm talking about. What we think, what we speak, what kind of emotions we have, and what we feel. Those things combined put us in what's called a vortex. Our vortex, as our vortex is working, okay, there's a channel that you're trying to tune into. Now, maybe you're trying to tune into doing a bunch of deals. Maybe you're trying to tune into making a lot of money, right? And here's what happens. And I think this will make a lot of sense, and it's really cool. So if we're saying, oh, you know what, this sucks, and I'm doing all this, and this is bullshit, and people don't answer, and blah, blah, blah. And so if you're speaking these things, it's going to cause you to feel that way. You follow me? When you feel that way, it's going to cause you more to think that way. And so it's like a perpetual, let me mute someone out here. Someone just came in, 1 second. All right, got it. So when these things come in, okay, when they come in, we start feeling this way, and it perpetuates it back and forth, right? So we feel bad, we think bad, we think bad, we feel bad. We get emotional about this, and it all comes together, and we don't even realize it because a lot of times we're not conscious of this. So how many times have you just felt in a funk, or you've been around somebody, or you watched a reality show or something, or whatever it was, and you just felt like funky, right? You were around somebody that had a bunch of drama, right? Maybe they're going through a divorce. Maybe they're, just a pity party. They're a victim, right? And you let them vomit on you, and you get done with it, and you're like, God, I just feel like shit, right? And so what that is, you guys, is affecting your vortex. That's affecting your energy, which in turn is going to affect what you're going to draw into your life. So our thinking, what we're thinking about on a consistent basis, what we're saying to ourselves, our self-talk, okay? What we're thinking, our self-talk, the emotions that we're feeling, and our feelings, same thing essentially. These things combined put us in what's called a vortex. Our vortex is going to tune us in to the channel that aligns with it. So what happens is a lot of times people say, well, I want to create wealth, right? I want to make $1 million this year. But that channel, so if you look at the channel that you're trying to tune into as what you want, I want to make $1 million this year, right? Or whatever, let's just say that. But then over here, right, the vortex is what you're thinking, what you're saying, your self-talk. This sucks. I can't do this. I can't do that. This person's not helping me. You're blaming other people. And all these things are going on, right? Or you're not getting up early. You're not working out. You're not in your best state that you can put yourself in. So this vortex that you're in and you're operating in will never, ever, ever be able to tune into this channel, right? Does that make sense? So this channel frequency that you want, and I believe that you really want, because of the state that you're in with your thinking, because of the state that you're in with your emotions, because of the state that you're in with your feelings, will never, ever, ever, no matter what you freaking do, you can work 18 hours a day and you can have a little bit of success, but will you ever be able to really experience that frequency and that wealth on the highest level possible? Absolutely not. It will not happen. And this is the struggle that some of you are going through. This is the frustration that you might be feeling. And here's the cool thing. I'm not talking about just money, okay? I'm talking about relationships, friendships, but all of it really leaks in and creates the same thing. So if your vortex, if your energy and your self-talk and your feelings are all surrounded around negative things, right? It doesn't matter what you're doing and what someone else does for you, you're going to still be in that. The only frequency that you're going to be able to tune into is something that aligns with that. Does that make sense? So it's really important. We have you guys do a vision board. We have you write out your perfect day, and that's huge. But what we also need to remember is that it's not enough just to look at that and say, I want, a big house, I want a great car, I want to make $10,000 a month, $20,000 a month, right? But then you turn around and you start going, oh, I need to do a deal. Oh, I need to do a deal. Oh, I don't have any money. Oh, I need to do a deal. That self-talk, or whatever you're saying, right? That self-talk will absolutely keep you tuned into the frequency that you actually don't want. It's going to allow the exact things that you don't want to experience to be experienced in your life. Does that make sense? And so this is like I call it the crazy cycle. That's so easy to get into. And you guys, I know how this works because I've went through this so many times in my life, and thank God that I was able to break free. And when not that thoughts don't come into my head or stuff, because it does, I'm just more aware of it now. And so I can retune myself. I can retune what I'm feeling, what I'm thinking, and know, hey, I want this frequency. I want this to manifest. So I have to put myself back into this frequency. How do I put myself into this frequency? Well, for me, maybe for you it's different. Maybe for you it's going for a walk. Maybe for you it's like doing something really fun, playing with your pets, right? Which we're going to get into some stuff you can do. Maybe it's going for a walk in nature. Maybe it's I don't know, whatever makes you feel good, that's healthy. Okay, let me put an exclamation point on that. I'm not talking about, smoking weed, I'm not talking about doing drugs, I'm not talking about getting wasted, right? I'm talking about what makes you feel good in a healthy way to start increasing that vibration so that you can attract easily, right? With almost effortlessly. You can start tuning into this frequency and start manifesting and start receiving the exact things you want. It's like, you guys, it's like this. It's like a client, right? Have you ever had someone, I call them and call them and call them, and they're not answering it, and then they wanted to buy a property, and I called them again, and I left a message and this and that, and now they start avoiding you, right? And so what's happening is that feeling, that frequency, that you're attracting is all based on this. It's all based on the energy you're putting out, on the panic mode that you're putting out, the frustration because they're not calling you back that you're putting out. So all of these things that you're tuning into, you're going to attract this exact same thing. And this is why that happens. And so we're going to share with you guys some really cool things that you can do so that you can actually put yourself in your best vortex, right? Your best state mentally, your best state physically, your best state emotionally. And when you do this, you guys, what will start happening, I promise you, is things will start happening so much more easily, and there'll be a flow to everything. There'll be like this natural flow where everything is just flowing. Everything is, not that, listen, not that challenges don't come up, okay? But you're just not going to really notice them as much because you're so in this zone, okay, that everything is just flowing in the right direction. So I want to get into some things that you can do. But first, I want to go into something. Joe mentioned, this thing about TV. Watching television, right? I want to read something. So television, along with social media advertising, is completely based on the unsustainable need to have the latest gadget, while promotion-controlled obsolescence, how things will break down quicker than ever before, creating the need to purchase the newer version of the exact same thing. Television programming is exactly that, the programming of our minds. Reality TV is so far away from reality that people believe it's more real than fiction, when in fact, most of it is staged, and I know it is for a fact because I know people that have been on them, and it's staged to elicit the shock factor from you, which is a negative emotional vibration. So maybe you have watched reality TV, maybe you haven't. I've watched some, and I like, for me personally, I just stopped watching it because I'm like, God, all it is drama and people fighting and this person, that. And I'm like, God, I get done watching it and I feel like crap, And so it's crazy that I came upon this, and that's why I'm writing some of this. Every newscast, okay, is designed to drain your energy. Have you ever felt good after watching the news or TV? Neither have I. Have you noticed that all newscast speakers speak in an urgent tone, as if their every word is crucial to your existence? This is not a coincidence, as they're trained to speak this way. So why is your energy vibration more important now than ever before? I'm going to tell you. This has been the greatest secret, you guys, throughout the ages. Fear, which we're going to talk about, not only drains your positive energy, but it allows you to be controlled by those who impose it on you. Keep in mind that there are only a handful of energy vampires on the top of the pyramid who maintain this illusion. So if you're having, you guys, fear about anything, okay, and you're giving energy to that, and you're thinking about it, and you're giving so much energy, right, to what you don't want, guess what you're going to tune into? Your vibration is going to tune into the frequency to attract the exact things in your life that you don't want. And we go through life and we keep doing the same shit and getting the same result until it's like, screw it, I don't care what it takes. I'm going to break free from this. I don't care if it's like, a bad habit, doing drugs, pornography, it doesn't matter. Whatever you are experiencing, you can break this pattern like that, but you have to change what you're thinking. You have to change how you feel about what you're thinking, and then you have to start giving energy and thought to the things that you want and know that you're going to get there, okay? That's how things change. So I want to go over a few things here. We've all had some of these, but really listen to me, you guys, and ask yourself this question, okay? These are some really good questions to ask yourself. Do you have any bitter relationships in your life, such as a former close friend, a spouse, a parent, or a sibling or a relative? Do you have any bitter relationships? Okay. One thing that can drain your energy. Okay. Number two, have you ever felt slighted or cheated on in a relationship? Something that can take away from that energy. Do you engage in negative or conflictive banter on social media? Everyone's silent. No, I got everyone muted, that's why. But, hey, we've all done it. Again, it's so freaking easy to do, isn't it? It's so easy to see a post and go, oh, what a bunch of bullshit, and jump in on it. And then, like, once you're in the thread, you get notifications over and over of all the shit that people keep replying. So it's like, oh my God, I did that one time, like, that's it, right? And so do you engage in that? Do you sleep well? Are you peaceful, or are you restless and worried? If you're restless and worried, okay, then you're not going to be able to be in that prime vibration, that prime vortex, so that you can tune into the channel of the things that and the frequency of the things that you really want. Does that make sense? So really, really important to make sure that you're getting your rest. And if you're not getting rest, a couple tips are: don't be on your phone at least an hour before you go to sleep. Wind down reading a book. Maybe you like a glass of wine. I don't know. I'm not saying drink the whole freaking bottle, but what I'm saying is, like, maybe you have a glass of wine, you read a little, or maybe you just read a little. I'm not really a drinker, so maybe you just read a little. But get off the phone. Don't look at that screen. That's going to keep your mind going. And there are some things that you can do to really wind yourself down so that you can have better sleep. If you're not sleeping well, that's because your mind is restless and it's going 100 miles an hour. And there are things you can do to slow your mind down. Meditation is great, which we're going to talk about some of those things here that can overcome this. Do you tend to look at people with fear or defensively? Do you feel depressed? Do you feel like you don't really deserve to be wealthy, or you have this blockage with attracting money? Like, you get to a certain point, you might get, 5 grand, 10 grand, 20 grand, 50 grand, 100 grand, whatever it is in your account, but you just can't seem to break through and go to the next level, right? This is a very, very common thing that all of us have went through or currently are going through. And I'm going to share with you some things that you can do to change that, okay? Do you have fear about relationships or a business task, like calling somebody, okay? So if you have a fear about calling somebody, and again, think about it. Your thoughts are fearful of what you're going to experience. Oh, they're not going to answer. Oh, whatever, they're probably going to be a wholesaler, right? If you have these thoughts, again, you guys, the thoughts and the vibration and the feelings, you're going to be tuned into the exact channel that you don't want to be tuned into. You follow me? So if you want to have a successful call, if you want to have success on every single call, you need to have that thought, getting clear. I'm excited to call these people. I'm fired up. I'm going to see how I can serve them. And I'm excited to get another cash buyer on my board. Like, if you look at it that way, you will be blown away. You guys, it's never, ever, ever the quality of the leads or the quality of the woofu forms that come in. It's 100% your approach and your cyclone, your vibration that you're putting out, and you're getting back whatever you're putting out. I'm telling you this. There was actually a good friend of mine that had a company where they sell business strategy stuff, and they had the same leads. They took and did on the sales staff and did a complete mindset shift and said, before your call, okay, every single call, you're going to slow down. You're going to take 5. You're not just going to jump on a call and go, oh, I got to call someone, right? And you're all panicky. That is toxic, right? If you're operating that way, freaking stop doing it. You're just killing yourself, and you're hurting yourself, and you're hurting your business and everyone around you. So get out of that panic mode. But my point is, I'm gonna sit here for 5 minutes. I'm gonna think about this person. I'm gonna think about how I'm gonna serve them. I'm gonna think about how great the conversation's gonna be, right? So your mind is thinking about all the good. Your feelings start feeling all the good. So guess what channel and frequency that you're going to be tuned into? You're going to be able to connect with the good now. You're going to be able to connect with the exact thing that you really, really want. And that is a great talk with somebody that you can really help with their investing. You follow me? And this is how this all comes together, you guys. Has it been a while since you feel like you've caught a break, right? How many people you hear, oh, if I could just catch a break. Oh man, I'm just having a really hard time and I don't have any money, right? And you look and you go, yeah, and it's going to be that way because you keep saying that, right? And here's the thing, you guys. Most of the time, okay, we don't even realize like the garbage that we're saying, right? It just comes out. Like, I don't even like saying it, but I'm using it on this call for an example. See, after this call, I got to freaking wash all this shit off now. But my point is that I'm doing it to help you guys. So with that said, these are things that people say. We hear it all the time, you guys. We talk to so many freaking people. And if you talk to a lot of people, you'll hear it too. Well, I don't have any money. Well, and you look and go, yeah, of course. And you're never going to have any unless you start changing what your thoughts are, what your self-talk is, and how you feel, right? So as long as people stay in this vortex, they will absolutely never have any money. And people wonder why they're 30 and then 40 and then 50 and 60 and they feel like they just can't catch a break. It all comes down to, you guys, the tuning. What frequency are you tuned into? And when you understand this, and you understand whether you believe it or not, I'm telling you it's true. And so I've experienced this. I know Joe's experienced it, and I know that it's hitting a lot of you guys between the eyes, and a lot of you are going, wow, I've never really thought about this. But when I was thinking these things, when I was feeling this way, I was attracting all this. And once I got rid of that, once I started hanging around the right people, once I started listening to good stuff, once I started improving my self-talk, once I started manifesting in the morning, doing my miracle morning, which we'll talk about, everything started changing. Everything started, it's amazing. I got a great job. I got a new partner that I really wanted. Like all these things just started happening almost like naturally without the effort, right? And this is how things work, you guys, in our lives. So do you feel like the harder you try to do a deal or reach a prospective client, the more that it resists you, right? How many people feel that way, have felt that way, right? And so with that said, you guys, now we're going to get into, we've all had these things happen, okay? Now we're going to get into how to fix this. So if any of these things are hitting home with you, if any of these things you're saying, wow, that is me right there, right? And so now we're going to get into the solution and how you can fix these things once and for all. And you guys, here's the thing. It's a decision, right? All it is a decision. If you want to change any of this stuff that is going on in your life, and maybe some of these things hit home with you, then you can absolutely right now after this call start changing this and fix it once and for all. It doesn't take a year, doesn't take 5 years. Well, it takes time. It takes as much time as it does for you to decide that it's freaking enough's enough. I'm tired of things being this way. I want to be the absolute best that I can be. I want to attract the absolute best that I can in my life. And this is exactly how you're going to do it. So the first thing I want to share with you is set a goal that makes you want to jump out of bed in the morning, okay? If you get out of bed slow and stretch and wake up late, these are things that are not going to put you in that core vortex. It's not going to put you in your best state to frequency in and attract the stuff you want, right? It's just not going to happen. So we talked about television, you know, how it's bad for us. There's some stuff in here. But what I want to get into is the solutions on what you can do. So the first thing is to meditate, okay? Now, we talk about this, okay? But meditation, you guys, when you can, hopefully in the morning, which we're going to get into, but when you can meditate, many of the people who say they don't have time to meditate will find time to watch TV, browse social media, and like play Candy Crush, right, on their phone. So people say, oh, I just got busy, I don't have time. No, you didn't make time, right? And so that's something that is in our control. When you guys can understand the power of meditation, and I had to crack my neck here, and what it can do for you, it puts you, when you can slow your mind down and control your mind and go into a state of peace and quiet, right, for 15 minutes or 10 minutes or 5 minutes or 30 minutes, it's amazing the calmness that it brings into your life. And when you have calmness, right, that helps you to literally attract the stuff that you want, because now when you have calmness and you understand you can control your mind, now you can control your mind, right? Does that make sense? So if you never are able to control your mind or put yourself in a state where you control your thoughts and your feelings and your emotion like you can when you meditate, meditation gives you power to know that you can do that, which will encourage you and inspire you to know that you can do a lot more with that. So that's what really meditation does. The second thing is get out into nature, okay? This is something that is absolutely proven to make you feel better, to make you feel more alive. When you feel more alive, you feel good. When you feel good, you start thinking good thoughts. All of this stuff, you guys, is all tied together, right? Our thoughts control our feelings control our thoughts. So when we understand that if I can put myself in a place where I feel good in a healthy way, then my thoughts are going to start focusing on stuff that are good. If I can start thinking good thoughts, I'll start thinking of things that make me feel good, which will in turn want to make me go out and do things that make me feel good. So all of this stuff is tied together. So get out into nature, whether it's a walk or planting a garden or bed of flowers. Stop watching TV, right? Huge one. And meditate or something else that gives you a positive return of energy. Play with your pets. Pets are known to give us a lesson of unconditional love, which actually raises the level of our vibration, okay? So if you have pets, how many of you guys have pets? By just a show of hands. So when you can play with your pets, and it's so fun, right? And that puts you, it like makes you happy. Now, when you're happy, you start thinking happy, right? And so that's one of those things, you guys. Hopefully this is starting to add up and the dots are connecting now to make sense. These are little things that you can do. It seems like almost too simple, right? Or maybe to some of you, if you've never heard this stuff, it might be like, whoa, this is kind of cool. Or maybe you'd be like, whatever. But I'm telling you guys, this stuff works. These are proven things, scientifically proven to make you feel better. So play with your pets. Watching children play. Try to remember the fascination of experiencing things for the first time, of the innocence of childhood, right? Like spin the bottle. Exercise, okay? As long as you're able to do so, then go out, go for a walk in nature. That'll give you two benefits. My doctor, you guys, I don't know if you guys maybe don't know my whole story, but in 2011, after my mom died, I was grinding in business and was driving my car down the road one day, and I blacked out. And I came to, I thought I was having a heart, my legs were going numb. Long story short, went and saw my doctor the next day, and it happened again while I was driving to the doctor. It was the scariest thing in my life. It was panic attacks. And he told me at the time, DJ, you cannot redline like a car. You're gonna like burn the engine, right? And really that's what you're doing, and that's what's happening. So he talked to me about he said the number one thing you can do is literally go for a walk down the road, in the wilderness, in the hills. Go for a walk with no distractions and just be present, right? Enjoy nature, enjoy things. If you golf, right? I know that Stan Gregory likes to golf, and he was saying on one of the calls he was golfing more. When you're in there and you're really present and enjoying it, you just feel so good. Again, these are things, you guys, that put you in a state, in a healthy way, to feel good, okay? Multiple things you can do. Exercise. Forgive yourself. Really, really important thing. Forgive yourself and others. None of us are perfect, and there are those who have either hurt us or that we've hurt. Forgive them, but also remember to forgive yourself. This will increase a positive vibration and attract goodness into your life. So one thing that the one thing that I know, you guys, and I think I've put this on Facebook before, the absolute, drink a cup of coffee, or hold on. The absolute hardest thing to do is to treat somebody like we want to be treated when they're not treating us how we want to be treated, right? So how do you treat someone kind, like you want to be treated, when they're not treating you kind, right? A lot of times it's like, we live in a world where it's like an eye for an eye. They hurt me, I'm going to hurt them back worse. And I'm telling you, that is dangerous, right? That is going to put you in a vibration that you absolutely don't want to be in. And if you're doing that, or if you have done it, think back on that, and all it did was like manifest, right? All it did was like fester, and it just got worse and worse. And then you hurt them back, and then they want to hurt you back again. And this just doesn't end, right? So when you can realize, forgive people that wrong you, forgive people that hurt you, not just say, yeah, I forgive them, but when you can feel it. Again, we're talking about feelings, right? Because that's part of the vortex. When you can feel that you've forgiven them, when you can really say, I've totally forgiven them, I love them where they are, they don't know any better, and I'm not going to hurt them because they did something that hurt me, right? And you can live that way, you guys. I live this way now, and I can share stuff with you over and over, but I'm not going to go into it. But when you can really live this way, you're going to notice that the people that matter are going to be like all around you. The people that you need to be around you, the positive people, the people that help you go to those next levels in life are gonna be right there. And so just, that's a really, really big one. Forgive yourself and forgive others. And a lot of this, you guys, goes back to childhood. Talking openly, I've never shared it from stage, but I had some abuse in my life when I was a young kid, but I've forgiven it, and really this year was the first time that I started talking about it, and like, just not in a deep level, but just at least coming out and saying, yeah, I had some abuse as a kid, but you know what, I've forgiven those people and I've moved on. And literally, as I did that, like, it was this, I'd never done it, and it was a total freeing experience that I had in my heart, that just almost like this weight was lifted, So these are things too, you guys, that go all the way back to childhood. If you haven't forgiven someone that wronged you or hurt you, or a family member, do it tonight. Do it right after this call. Call them, tell them you forgave them, whatever you got to do. And I'm telling you guys, it's so freeing. And what it does is it's good for you, right? It puts you back in that vibration of feeling good, of energy, of where you need to be, because these are things, you guys, that can really block from tuning into this frequency that you want to be turned into, right? Hate, unforgiveness, these are things you want to shed, and those are some ways that you can do it. Express gratitude, right? We talk about this. Be grateful for the beauty that surrounds you, even if it's small trees in the middle of a big city. Be grateful for the meal that you're about to eat and anything else that's been blessed to come into your life, including some of the negative things that ended up being wonderful lessons in life that expanded your spiritual or personal growth. Being grateful, we talk about this, right? In the morning, gratitude, thank you, God, for this. Thank you, God, for that, or Allah, or the universe, or whatever you believe in. So gratitude, being grateful for the things everything you have in your life right now, not for things in the past, not for things in the future, right now. This puts you in a state of just, it puts you in your zone, right? When you're grateful and you have gratitude about the things in your life now, it puts you in that space in your life now of being thankful for everything you have now, which in turn, your mind is thinking about that. It's going to be focused on good things, right? And you're going to start attracting and tuning into good things, right? You see how this kind of comes together now? Face your fears and see them as opportunity. To spiritually evolve, fearing anything always elicits a negative emotion. I can tell you guys, back when I was playing baseball and I was 19, the young phenom, and I made an error and I'm like, shit, I don't want to make an error, right? And I make another one. Or I'd strike out and I said, oh God, I don't want to strike out. And the things that I actually didn't want to do because I was thinking about them, because I was feeling them and giving them emotion, would actually happen, right? And so it's funny, and maybe you can look back in your life at your path and see some of maybe it's not baseball, but other things, and go, God, when I was thinking this and feeling this way, I was freaking attracting the exact shit that I didn't want to attract, right? And I was tuned into this channel. I kept getting this signal that I really didn't want to get, but yet that everything I was doing was in line with receiving this signal. You follow me? And so these are things, you guys, face your fears, right? See them as opportunities. What did this say here? Sorry, there are reasons why these fears keep coming into our lives. Once we face our fears, the fear disappears, as this was yet another one of life's lessons. Plus, it's an emotion, which means that it will manifest. So when the absolute, one of the worst things you could do, or I should say best things you could do, okay, let's focus on what you want to do, not what you don't want to do. One of the best things you could do is face your fears, and literally it will absolutely free you. It will make you go, God, that's not such a big deal, right? And I know I got a few other really cool things to share, but Joe, do you want to, let me move over here. Do you want to add, oh, I can see everyone now. Do you want to add anything on this, on the fear and overcoming? Because I know that you've had some stuff that you've really overcome in your life.
Well, yeah, anytime you start a new adventure, like you guys have with FOD, it's, there's a lot of anxiety, a lot of fear. You're always worried about, can I do this? Do I have the capability? Am I going to learn this? Am I going to practice it? I mean, the 1,000 things that go through your mind, probably every minute of the day while you're going through this process is part of facing the fear. The most important thing you can do is just realize that what one man can do, another can do. And hundreds of thousands of people, across the world have been involved with real estate since the beginning of time. I mean, it's just, it's what one man can do, another can do. You got to have that faith, that confidence that following a program and following the steps that you'll be successful too. So, those are the fears that we all face. We all have them. It's just getting them out in the forefront so that we can tackle them as they come up. If you're not scaring the shit out of yourself, you're not growing. I've learned that a long time ago. Every time I started a new business or got into a new adventure, of course I had anxiety. Sure, I had fear, of the what if. But it's that what if that turns out to be the adrenaline that drives you, through it. So I always try to get that out there in front of me. And I'd also like to touch on the meditating. DJ and I had a long conversation earlier today. I was feeling completely overwhelmed. I started reflecting on myself after I had this conversation with DJ about, things that we're facing and tackling and, the onslaught. You got to imagine that, your leaders in this company aren't perfect. We face the same situations and same drama and the same, highs and lows as you guys do. It's just what do we do to overcome them? Well, I've got a terrific partner. My partner, we talked about some things, and I realized also that for the last 3 days, I have blown my routine. I haven't got up, and I've gotten up early because I'm doing a lot of work on the phone, but I haven't worked out. I haven't meditated. I haven't swam. I haven't done anything but be locked down in my office trying to get stuff done. And it had such a draining effect on me that DJ and I had to have a conversation today. I said, dude, I got to tell you, I'm not feeling as powerful as I normally am. I have been in business for 35 years. I've been an entrepreneur the whole time. I've had some ups and downs. Normally, I can brush that stuff off like water on a duck's back. But the last 3 days, the missing component for me, I fell out of my routine. I didn't get to meditate. I didn't get my swim in. I didn't get my workout in. I felt like a slug. Today, it hit me hard. So, I talked it through with my partner, DJ. So you've got a partner out there that you can talk to. You can usually solve any and all problems. You just need to get on track. And with this presentation that DJ's put together for us today, he's laying this out, and it couldn't have come at a more perfect time for even myself to do a tune-up. We all need tune-ups from time to time. But I will tell you, the last 3 days have thrown me off, and I just wasn't clicking on all cylinders. DJ recognized it. We had a conversation today, cleared the air, and now I know what's going on. So give yourself a tune-up. And these calls are so important for everybody involved in the FOD team, is because we all need these tune-ups. We all need something to cling to that keeps pulling us through the times when things are getting tough. I saw Stan raise his hand earlier. He said, when DJ asked, can you just catch a break? Well, I think we all feel those things. Like I was feeling it today. Man, can I just catch a break? But normally I can compartmentalize that stuff, deal with it strategically, and move through it. But I was out of my routine, so I wanted to stress the urgency for you guys to recognize when you're out of your routine, or if you don't have a routine, establish one that makes that much difference in your life. Everything that DJ is going over right now and talking to you about is so powerful for keeping your mental focus. You'll never recognize it until you fully engage it. And then when you miss a step, you're going to realize, oh crap, I'm out of my element, my routine, my daily function, what gets me through a day. And these systems that we develop and put into place for ourselves are truly the magic catalyst that will propel us to the next level and help us overcome these challenges and fears and be able to obtain the gratitude at a higher level than what we're normally used to. And once you start experiencing that, you'll get back on track quick, just like I did today. So,
and you know what, Joe, you mentioned something great. And with Stan, with you guys, I got you muted, but with you guys, I have, I spoke to Juan, who's Delia's husband, and had a great talk with him yesterday for probably an hour. He's actually from LA region, or California actually, but had an awesome talk with him, and they're totally on board. He's going to be having lunch with Joe here in the next day or two, and we have a flip. Actually, we have 2 flips that we can. I'm not telling him this, but that we can actually give him one or the other. So I actually called and personally talked to Delia today, and Juan's supposed to be calling me here tonight and catching up with me. So they're on track, and I know exactly what they have. They have he's got 200,000. They have he worked really hard for his money. He felt really good after he and I chatted, and he said, hey, DJ, either flying up there, or he goes, if Joe's down here in Arizona, because they're in Phoenix. So he said that would be awesome if I could meet, and then that would comfort us and really give us what we needed. So they're good to go, man. We're gonna reel them in. Yeah. Yep, there we go. So yeah, Joe, it's funny that you mentioned that. And but to kind of move on here, So that'll be great for you guys, Dan. Put you in that vibration. So do things. Here's another 2 things real quick. Do things or be with people who make you laugh. It's a proven fact when you're on the phone with somebody, if you can get them to laugh and you're laughing with them, there's a study that was done, and the odds that they will actually do business with you, I think it's like double, right? So your odds are almost twice as good if you actually can engage with people and genuinely have laugh. So if you're on the phone with people and you're being a dead weight, have fun with it, right? Laugh with them, and just enjoy the time with them, because if they like you, the likelihood they're going to do business with you is really high. So something really important to remember, make sure that we're laughing, enjoying things. The last one, before I go into something really important, ask and this is for people that are spiritual, ask your spirit guides or guardian angels or the universe or God or whatever you believe in, for help and direction. Your spirit guides and guardian angels are eagerly awaiting for your call as distant. Guardian angels, God, the universe, whatever it is. This gets into, you guys, the manifestation routine, the AID, right? That Thach Nguyen talked about in the morning, what he does in the morning. And he teaches this. He's a multimillionaire, very successful guy, great family, great dad, great husband, and just an amazing person. And this is what turned him around. Appreciation, intention, delegation. Now, sometimes, you guys, you could go through this and do this in the morning, and you still might feel out of tune, right? But I know for me, and Joe knows me, my swimming makes me feel, it's like a runner's high, right? And that is vibration. That makes me feel really, really good. And when I feel really, really good, like I'm getting some shit done, right? And so I've realized this stuff, you guys. These aren't things that I've been doing for, all my life. Over time, I just understand things more, and I'm able to, I take more time now when I meditate to reflect and go, gosh, that's cool. How did that happen so easy? Oh, I know why that happened so easy, because I was in my vortex. I was thinking good things. I was expecting it to happen. I was feeling like it was going to happen, right? But if you're feeling like, oh, this isn't going to work, or this isn't going to happen, and you're thinking that, which will coincide with each other, and you really want it to happen, it's not going to happen, or you're going to have massive resistance. So once you understand that, if I really want this to happen, I'm going to speak, hey, this is already done, right? This is already done. It's a done deal. It's just a matter of when they're going to buy and when it's going to happen. And so when you start speaking this, okay, even if you don't really feel that way, you need to speak it and feel it and change the way that you're feeling, because you got to realize what it's costing you, right? You're going to attract the exact thing that you speak, think, and give emotion and feeling to. And if those things are not the frequency that you want to be tuned in, then you have to change those things, and you'll start seeing, holy cow, this happened. Holy cow, that happened. And I can tell you guys literally story after story of this happening, and Academy members where it's happened, and they didn't even know it's happened, but I can notice it and I can see it. And it's like, wow, look, they have deals. So if you're in that panic mode and, oh God, I got to, do a deal, those people struggle to do deals. And that's why a lot of wholesalers, you guys out there, are struggling. Conventional wholesalers are struggling, or because they don't know this stuff, right? It's not just about doing a deal. If it was just about doing a deal, everyone would be making money. But how easy the deals happen, and how consistent they happen, and how much they happen, when you have the right understanding of what you're attracting, right? You take 100 leads, woo-foo forms, and put yourself in the right state, where you're vibing, right? You're in that vortex where your thoughts are good, your energy's good, you're excited, you're expecting good things, and you call those 100 people, right? I guarantee you that the odds that you're going to have a much, much higher, probably double of a success rate, as opposed to if you're not, right? If you didn't get sleep, if you're, if you're groggy, like you can't fake this, right? Your vortex, your feeling and what you're thinking and your self-talk, you cannot fake it with someone on the phone. It's gonna, you can't fake like the channel that you're gonna, the frequency that you're gonna tune into, right? That's gonna automatically be tuned to what's here. So when you realize that what's here and how you're controlling this is gonna draw the things to you, then you start taking accountability. You start not blaming other people. You start going, okay, this is great, right? Now I know that this is why this is happening, and I know it's in my power to fix it. It's totally in our power, you guys, to change and fix anything that we're experiencing in our lives. And once you understand that and take accountability and say, you know what, this was a great call. I'm going to dive in, and now I know that I have the power to have success, more success on my sales calls now, or more success on my marketing now, right? Like whatever it is, when you understand this process and how it comes together, you're going to be a lot more successful. So we talked about this, right? The miracle morning. If you guys aren't doing the miracle morning was written by Hal Elrod, or not written, but he created it. And what he did was he traveled the world to India and all these countries to find out what makes people successful, what allows people to be tuned into this frequency and get what they really want. Maybe it's peace in their life, not always money. Maybe it's travel. Maybe it's the right partner. Whatever it is, he traveled the world to see how do these people, from money to spirituality to peace in their life, to rest that they can't put a price tag on, how do they achieve these things? And so he created that miracle morning out of this. And what it is, you guys, is, I talked about this last week, silence, right, through meditation, affirmations, which we have the affirmation cards that we have you guys do, plus we have the vision board, visualization, right? So the affirmations are the cards that we had to do. The visualization is your vision board, and not just looking at it, but really feeling and really believing that's mine, right? I don't care if it's a great marriage, if it's, $1 million bucks, if it's $1 billion, if it's an airplane, it doesn't matter. It's yours. It's already done. You just have to see that and believe and feel that's done. It's mine. It's just a matter of time, right? And you're going to start seeing how the more that you know it's done, instead of trying to work so hard to get it, it's going to naturally flow, and you're going to notice this, and it's going to change your life. Exercise, you guys, is freaking huge. If you're not exercising in the morning or at night or whatever, you are not performing at your best. Guarantee it 1,000%. It will cause you to not sleep well. Exercise at night, if you go for a run or you go for a swim, will absolutely help you sleep 1,000 times better. So if you're having trouble sleeping, get some cardio in, or go for a walk or whatever. At getting your heart rate up in a zone for 15, 20 minutes, ideal. But even if you go for a walk at night to wind your mind down, right? Great way to help. So exercise. Reading books, that's putting the good stuff in, right? So you guys are seeing how this miracle morning and these things tie together. The silence, meditation, helping us control our thoughts. The affirmations, putting good stuff in our mind, right? The visualization, putting good stuff on our mind and helping us feel it with emotion. The exercise, having us feel good. The reading, putting good stuff in our mind. The scribing, right? Getting stuff that we want to happen. These are the things, you guys. And it's funny because I wasn't even thinking about the miracle morning when I put this together for us tonight. But I started looking, going, holy shit, man. These things were all created for putting us in that vortex, getting our mind healthy, right? On what we want, getting our energy on what we want, putting our feelings on what we want. And so I started looking at this going, holy crap, this is no wonder they call this the miracle morning, because it puts you in this spot to have you tune in and be able to have that frequency that tunes you into the channel you want. And the channel you want, you're going to get exactly what your mind, your energy, and your feelings are. If you fear something, right, you're thinking about it, you're feeling that you're scared. And how many times is that exact thing that we don't want to have happen or we fear ends up happening, right? I could tell you, I'm sure that you guys have stories. I could tell you story after story. But the great news is it's the same in reverse as well, right? So that's the great news, is that you can know now, you can totally control this. So by thinking of the things that you want, right, you're going to start seeing them show up more and giving energy to them and giving attention to them. And I'm telling you guys, do this if you're not doing the miracle morning and you really want to tune into the frequency that you're not tuned into fully right now. Start doing the miracle morning. Do it every single day, even on weekends if you want, but do it every single day. Because what you're going to notice is you don't do it on, say, I'm just going to rest on Sunday, watch some TV and stuff. And it's going to be 2 o'clock like me this last week. Go, God, I feel like shit, you know? And it was crazy, but I was aware why it happened. So with that said, anything that, what I want to do real quick is, I thought it'd be really cool. We got a few minutes here. Anybody that really, if you want to tell, maybe I can unmute you, but if you want to share something that you really got out of this, that maybe you're going to start implementing, or maybe something really hit you between the eyes that is going to really help you with your business, raise your hand and I'll unmute you. Alfred, I know you got something. See, man, I was already unmuting you. See how that works?
We're here, man. We're here. You know, what Joe was saying about getting out of routine. You know, I the last couple of days I did the same thing. Got out of routine. I normally try to get up and meditate for 20 minutes and then go work out. And I didn't do that. I got up and I try to meditate in the morning and at night. And the last couple of days I was out of sync, out of routine, and didn't get to the gym, didn't meditate in the morning. I try to sneak one in at night. And my days, I was just in a funk. I was telling my fiance, you know, I was just frustrated. It seemed like I was pissed off and just mad and just anxious and all that, you know, everything else. And so my thing is, you know, just getting in my routine and sticking with it and making sure that I hold myself accountable to do that every morning. So that was one of the big things. And a lot of it, you know, like you said, the meditation, a lot of it I'm working on doing that, and I've been doing it for a little bit now. But that was the big thing that I got out of, was, you know, making sure I stick to my routine and hold myself accountable when I don't, because it helps. It definitely does help.
Oh yeah, man, that was me on Sunday, man. I felt like I could like chew through a brick, you know? I felt irritated and like pissed. I'm like, God, what's going on, man? You know? And
yeah, that was me, yeah.
Oh man, I'm telling you, it totally throws it off, man.
Yeah,
and I know that you're even doing you know, some deeper stuff with meditation and stuff. But when you do it, how does it, I guess, make you feel?
You know, I feel more focused, you know, throughout the day. You know, just clearer, like you said, calm, brings a nice sense of calm to me. So it just helps my day flow. You know, it just seems to help my day flow. I can think more. You know, when I'm focusing on something, I can focus. If I don't, it seems like I'm all over the place. It's like I can't focus on one thing. I'm trying to do 20 different things at one time. And if I meditate, it calms me down. And then, you know, and there's like with the reading as well. You know, I started reading again for the second time, Think and Grow Rich, and start really doing the stuff in that book too. So tying some of that stuff into my morning rituals and before I go to bed. But like you said, when I do that, I feel a lot calmer. And I feel like, you know, things come to me even faster and almost effortlessly. And if I'm not in sync or in my vortex, like you were saying, I can feel it. I just feel I just feel a sense of I'm off in some sort of way, shape, or form. But yeah, it definitely helps.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, man. I mean, it's same thing. And when we're, when we're in that panic mode, and listen, I've been there. I still have it where it kicks in. I just recognize it and know that, okay, I gotta like go get a coffee, go for a walk, right, or whatever, because you feel it, right? It's like, oh, and you feel like, oh, I got all these things to do. I got all these calls, and that's a unproductive zone to be in, just to realize like, okay, need to just slow down, chill out, go for a walk, whatever. And almost a lot of times by slowing down, we speed up, and almost like by slowing down, we can think, where our creative side can think, and we start going, wow, I feel better, and so, yeah, man, no, thanks for sharing. I appreciate it, bud.
No doubt. Thanks for the info.
Absolutely. Anyone else want to share anything here? Stan. Hey, buddy.
Hey.
Hey,
Good news.
hey. I like the oh, baby. Yeah. I was hoping, man. I was like, oh God, they better like be better this year than they were last year. So they came out swinging, man. That was good to see.
Yeah, it is very good. Hey, what really helps me out, and I do this a lot, the exercise and everything. So what makes, I put a calendar on the so I have a calendar, and every time I exercise, I put an X on that date.
Yep.
That motivates me a lot to do that. Also talk about pets. What I do is I walk my dog and I pick up the trash on the side of the road. So that makes me feel good, that I have to not just walk the dog, but I got to pick up the trash. So that's what helps me,
Absolutely, man.
That really does wonders. The marking the calendar and then looking back to see how many days I missed, big thing.
Oh, yeah. That's a good, Stan, I'm glad you mentioned that. That's something that I've seen before that people talk about is, having a calendar and having that red X that, hey, I got this achieved. I got it done. Yeah, man. And hey, walking the dog and picking up trash and doing something good. It's like, hey, and that's great, Stan, that you mentioned that, because everyone has something that makes them feel good. And so when we can do something and realize, hey, like you realize, hey, when I take my dog for a walk and I can pick up trash and it makes me feel like I did something good, right? I sowed some good seeds, and makes you feel good. That puts you in that vortex and puts you in that where that energy is feeling good, and then all of a sudden good things start happening. And that's cool, man. Thanks for sharing.
Good.
Hey, Jason, what's up, buddy?
Oh, hey, how you doing, my man?
Good, man. I just able to see you a little better now.
Yeah, you might hear some screaming in my house, so it's just my kids.
Oh, no problem, man. Hey, how did you get some good stuff from that?
Huh?
You get some good stuff from that?
Oh, absolutely, man. Stepping outside just in case get some screaming going on.
Hey, at least the sun's out.
Oh, yeah. We're excited. Yeah, it's doing great, man. I love these calls. It's really awesome. Getting to hear all the awesome stuff.
Help out, 'cause I know that you were starting to wake up and do some things. Do you feel, when you don't, do you feel like off?
Absolutely, man. And to be honest, I'm kind of forced to with the kids got school, so there's 3 now going, or all 4 going to school, so getting up extra early. So I'm sometimes sending calls, and I'm getting texts from some of the friends like Christmas from Hawaii and stuff, and they're like, "Whoa, you're up?"
Yeah.
So yeah, like I think Nicole texted me, messaged me this morning, and I was like, I think it was like 2 a.m. my time. But hey, we're up and going, so always. Yeah,
Derek's like, man, does Jason sleep? You like text me at 4 a.m.
No, sleep doesn't. You do get your sleep, but I mean, you're up and going quite a bit. So.
Yeah. No, right on, buddy. Right on.
I definitely love the calls though, and congrats to Stan on his big sales.
Yeah, man, absolutely. And I'll call you when we're done here.
Absolutely.
All right. Joe, anything that you want to add, buddy?
No, I touched on most of it a little bit ago. Just an awesome call. Struck a lot of nerves for me, and these calls are not just for you guys; they're for us as well. So we take heed to them. So I think they're very important. I think the people that aren't on these calls are truly missing out on the golden nuggets, and the teamwork that is provided here. And they miss out on Alfred's story and Jason's story and Stan. These are active people in the business that are doing things and going places. And to me, I would think that anybody in this organization would want to hear these things and be on these calls. So I'm not gonna put them down for not being on it, because they might have life got in the way. But I sure hope that they get back and listen to the recordings, because your guys' stories are very powerful. I mean, truly, for a new person in the academy, or even somebody that's been in for a while that just hasn't clicked and put it together, listening to your stories could make the difference. It could make the difference between them never doing anything or getting fully engaged. Remember, what one man can do, another can do.
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely, man. And a lot of times too, we talk about, well, this wholesaling program, or you got to do this flipping, or no, this one's better, and no, we got the answer. And it really, I think, and I think that ours is the best, of course, but I think it's definitely the fastest, it's definitely the most money. But I think that, if people even had the right mindset, you could take someone and put them in a just a shitty program. And if they have the right mindset and they have the right vibe and they're doing the things, they can go out and be successful. And that's why I think so many people fail. And I think that our program sets us apart 100%. But at the same time, so many people have such a bad mindset, and they're getting the exact things that they don't want over and over again, because they're not understanding why it keeps happening. So it's really cool, and it inspires me to get ready for these calls, because it keeps me going. It keeps me thinking about, and like Joe said, being conscious of these things, that it's like, oh wow, man, it's a refresher, And so, thank you guys for letting me share it to you tonight. Love all you guys. If you need anything, Slack us. Let us know what's going on. Stan, thanks for your inspiration tonight. That was great. Alfred, thank you. Jason, thank you. And those of you that we didn't get a chance to get to tonight because of time, just reach out. Listen, on Slack, if you can go on and just post what you got out of the call in general, that'd be great. But also, reach out on Slack. Those of you that are on here, we got a lot of people on the call, but we can't see you. If you weren't able to ask a question or share with me something that maybe you got out of this, feel free to DM me or shoot me a text. I love hearing this stuff from you guys, because again, it's something positive, right, that comes to me. And one thing too, I wanted to share you guys a really cool new way to communicate with people. So I was talking to a guy yesterday, that actually is extremely successful. He builds apps, like phone apps for literally a chunk of the Fortune 500 companies. He's so ahead of the curve technologically. And so I was talking to him about texting. He's like, yeah, texting and this. So I asked him, hey, he said, oh, there's even better ways now. I said, well, hey, share with me, right? I want to know. Tell me, what do you mean better ways than texting? And he says, DJ, we've tested something that's really working really good right now. So check this out. For those of you that are doing Facebook messaging or sending messages out or sending LinkedIn messages, if you have good energy or you can create good energy, okay, try this. I want you guys to try this and give me feedback on it. He says that when they send a direct message now, that they will actually send a voice message, right? So not an actual readable message, but an actual voice message that says, like, you know, hey, Joe, this is DJ with, you know, flipping on with, you know, Fortune Closures or whatever. Listen, I see that you're a real estate investor, and I would absolutely love to connect with you. I included a form here below. Do me a favor, click on the link, fill out this form, and I'll give you a call and share with you exactly how we can start getting you properties as low as $40,000 free and clear to either flip or cash flow, whatever, and blah, 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 right? And try sending them whatever you write, an excitable, fun, friendly voicemail on direct messaging, right? And it's funny because I said, wow, you know, I never really thought of doing that, right? And so he said that has been converting higher for them than anything else, than sending a text or whatever. And really, when I thought about it, you know, no one's doing it, right? Like, I know a shit ton of people and I don't get any, right? I mean, you guys probably don't get any sending you an actual voice message through like a text, right? Or a even try that, you guys. Try, you know, texting them a voice message instead of just texting them something, right? If you text them and they don't reply back, try sending them a voice message. These are really cool things, you guys. And the people that aren't on these calls miss these little golden nuggets that could really, I mean, shit, when one deal is 20 grand, you know, you don't need a whole bunch to make a ton. So if this helps you guys, it's a new thing that I was going to share with you guys. I'm glad I remembered it. So when you're doing your messaging to get leads, try doing some of them where you leave them a voicemail with the link below it instead of just the message. And let me know if that's converting. I've been told that from this guy that's very tied in, that this is getting them a way, way better response rate, a way higher response rate of engagement than just sending them a text message that they don't know who you are, right? Because now it's more friendly, it's more personable. So something really cool for you guys to try out. Give me the feedback. We're going to start trying this. I just heard about it yesterday. So we're going to start trying this ourselves. So something for you guys to try and see if you can get a better engagement rate. Give it a shot. You know, let me know what happens. So with that said, you guys, I'm going to sign off. Have an awesome night. Love all of you guys. Keep kicking ass. Keep putting yourself in that vortex to get that frequency that you want. And we'll see you guys next week.